Hi, my name is Harish Godreddy and welcome to the CPA Tech Talk show. This is the first long form content or long video that I'm doing, the session that I'm doing on this show. So I'm so excited and welcome. And today's topic is pretty interesting. It is how to save thousands of dollars by automating your core and auxiliary services with Qntrl without hiring consultants. So it's a tall promise, I understand, but this is what we're going to learn about in today's session. So let's get started. The first thing I want to mention right off the bat is if you have failed at automating your business process in the past, it's not your fault. There's a lot of confusing information out there and it keeps you away from taking action. It's okay because I had the same challenge and it's totally cool. If you have been concerned in the past that you can't start with automation without investing a lot of money and time on consultants, I want to put those fears to rest because it's not true. You can do this with less than $100. You may be wondering how, so hang in there and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. Most software consultants want you to think that you need their help to succeed with automation. I'm here to tell you they're wrong. They may have their own reasons for wanting you to think that it is, think like that, but it's not true. So that's not entirely true. So let's continue. If you ever thought that consulting projects take so long to complete because the consulting firm wants more billing, well, you are probably right. Not all of them, but some do that, right? And irrespective of what it is, what state you are watching this webinar or video or the show, I know one thing. I know that you have a dream to make an impact by helping businesses succeed with their finances, and I want to show you how to make that happen during this webinar. So let's continue. I have a very special offer if you can wait till the end. So here's the thing. Do you think you can spare 45 minutes of your time that may change the way you do business forever? Can you do that? I believe yes, because I would definitely do that, right? So yeah, so now what's my webinar goal or this, the goal for this particular session? It's simple. In the next 45 minutes, my goal is to get you to believe that managed automation services powered by Qntrl is the key to growing our accounting business, your accounting business with automation. And I'm going to show you my proprietary frameworks that will make it simple for you to achieve that results. That's exactly what my goal is. I want to show you, I want to make you believe that managed automation services is the future. The project-based consulting, everything is dead. Now it's managed automation services by Qntrl is the key to growing your accounting business with automation. I'm going to show you how to do it. But first, a little bit about me. Who am I, right? So my name is Harish Godreddy. I've been in the IT industry since 2004, working for large MNCs. I have built multiple enterprise software products and scaled the engineering and operation teams to serve thousands of customers. So that's where my expertise with automation comes in. I am on a mission to help 2,000 CPAs in 2021 to move from a small business to mid-sized accounting firm. So that's where that's my mission for this particular year. So it's actually a mission that I started 3 years ago, which I'll talk in a second. But that's a little bit about me. As you know, I have my own YouTube channel. You can find more information about me on LinkedIn. So what is my background? Let's talk a little bit about my background. I started this consulting business, in Jan of 2019 with a goal to help businesses scale with automation. So I partnered with Zoho, as that's the best solution for provided solution out there for SMBs. So my desire is to help 2,000 businesses in 3 years with my consulting services. So that's where the 2,000 number came in, not just I just want to do all of that in 2021. So over the last 2 years, I had some success, but most of the time did not get the results I wanted. So there is nothing to hide about it. So I started with a big bang with all the passion and everything, but I never it never reached to the peak of what I wanted. I did not get the results that I wanted. So what happened, right? So here's what happened. The number one challenge I had with my prospects in the is the implementation cost, because I help small and small businesses scale, right? So basically small businesses. The number one challenge for them is to justify the implementation cost for automation. And I definitely know that I'm asking a huge commitment from them, right? During that time, I was taking a Jay Abraham marketing course. If you don't know Jay Abraham, he's the leader in marketing. I think they call him the $1 billion man. And I came across the concept of a risk reversal. So basically what the concept is how do you remove the risk on from your customer or the prospect so they can do business with you. So here's what, then the question came into my mind, right? So what if I can eliminate the risk of doing business with me and offer my services in such a way that guaranteed results with zero risk? So that's the question I kept on thinking. How can I do this? How can I do this? Over a period of time, so that I don't have to have these complicated discussions to close the, it doesn't have to be a sale. It doesn't have to be a hard sale, or I don't have to follow all of the closing techniques. It's just that they should be able to jump in. I want my prospect to jump in and get started immediately, because there is absolutely no risk for them to get started. So I started thinking about it. Then I took my cloud computing background, because I'm a certified cloud architect, and applied the same model to automation. So that's how this managed automation services offering came into picture, right? So the cloud computing is completely on demand, pay-per-use, and all of that So I took my experience from there and made it into I created this offering called managed automation services. So what does this really mean is you just pay for what you use, similar to the cloud computing. So what will happen is I'm going to show you how you can overcome all the challenges. So you may be wondering, how does all the story relate to you, right? So I'm going to show you how you can overcome all the challenges of scaling your business and build the automation required so to serve massive number of clients with the help of my proprietary solution, managed automation services, which your entire team will love and can't wait to use it. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So just hang in there. So that's what we're going to talk about. So but first, let us see some results, right? So my business grew with automation from a one-man team to 11 in 3 months, and it continues to grow, right? So it is continuing to grow. So I have all the processes automated and ready to support up to 50 employees without hiring any administrative staff. So I have everything in place. Now I can really go and start focusing on scaling my business. That is my result. So that's what exactly happened to my own business when I started implementing automation that I know. So my client results, since we are talking about CPAs community, so I want to share a story or the results from D Square Professional Services. Amazing guy, he's my accountant as well. He's an amazing person. So what we did for him is we fully automated 2 processes. GST is a tax thing that here in India. ITR is income tax return, like your tax return processes. Now with that automation in place, he's able to he can process 4 times the number of clients with the same staff. So imagine that if he is able to do 100 ITR returns, now he can do 400, right? So that is 4x the revenue, right? So that is the power of automation. And the challenge, one of the other challenges he had is revenue recognition time. It usually takes 2 to 3 weeks for him to get the money. So that moved away, that we were able to bring it down to 3 to 5 days, right? So that's a big thing with automation, so that the invoices go immediately, collection happens, reminders happen, and all that stuff. So 3 to 5 days they get the money back, right? So that's how that's a huge thing that happened. So those are the results that we got, I and my team got for the client, which is a CPA or a chartered accountant here in India. So let's continue, and I'm going to show you 3 secrets that I plan to disclose today. So there are 3 things that I want to disclose today. The first thing is the secret number 1. I call them the secrets, right? So the first one is managed automation services. How to scale your accounting practice with automation, but only pay for what you use, right? That's secret number 1. The second secret I want to share is no-code automation with Qntrl. So how to automate your services just over a weekend without hiring any expensive consultant or without hiring an expensive consultant. Finally, the secret number 3, my number 1 hack to fast-track technology adoption. So how to eliminate the training time for your staff and clients with a one-of-a-kind task-based training. So that's the third one that I'm going to share, the secret that I want to share. Right, so let's go on. Let's look at the first one. So let me continue. So you're probably thinking, automation is expensive even if software is affordable, and you're right. A typical 100 hours project will cost you anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 depending on the kind of consulting firm you're working with, right? So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you, how it solves this problem, right? So before AWS dominated this infrastructure IT space, when I was in the software development field, getting a test environment to test usually took a couple of days, and it was expensive, right? We can't just throw away those machines because they were physical machines. So what happened was, with AWS, the way we do business has changed forever, right? So on-demand infrastructure, pay-per-use model transformed businesses. Since with my cloud architect experience, certified cloud architect experience, it'll be a shame if I don't leverage what I have learned, right? So the question was always, how can I model cloud computing, business model for my consulting business? That was the question I always had. So how do I use the same business model for my, consulting business? There was always one challenge. One challenge is the software, that we use for automation requires skill, requires coding, requires a lot of, expertise, which is not cheap, right? We can't afford, the reason consulting firms can't do this pay-per-use model is because the technology they use is really, requires experts and a lot of investment in the experts and a lot of time to build that. But the entire landscape of technology has changed with the introduction of no-code platforms. The no-code automation platforms like Qntrl, Kissflow, Creator, Creator is low-code, stuff like that, products like that. I can finally use the same cloud computing business model for automation. So that's the key. Until now, I didn't get the break because I could not find a tool or could not find a software that can help me implement this model and give the clients what they want, without any risk. So now I can do it because we have the no-code automation tools. So clients can enjoy all the benefits of automation without the burden of spending a ton of money on consulting fees. So what happens is, at the end of the month, you get an invoice for the automation that your business use. So, and that's it, you pay for it, right? So the question here is, if we go ahead and give you a model, we give you a platform with all the automation in place, and all you have to do is use it and pay for what you use, wouldn't it be super cool for you to adopt it and use it? Won't you do that? So yeah, that's my question. So if you have all the things that you need and you have the software, everything is implemented free of cost, and all you have to do is use it and pay for what you use. So I think it's a no-brainer. Everyone should at least give it a try and see how it can transform your business, right? So that's what managed automation services is all about. So you can implement automation without spending a lot of money on consultants, right? So that's what I wanted to share. The next thing I want to share is no-code automation with Qntrl. How to automate your services over a weekend, just this weekend or any weekend, without hiring an expensive consultant. So now I want to talk about my automation framework. So in the past, when I first started with automation projects, just like you are hearing about automation, so I started my career with technical support and then moved on to software development and other things. So when I started with automation projects, I did some of them, but basically I had no clue, right? So what you're probably there where you have an understanding of automation, but you really don't know what it is. I was in that same time, in the same shoes like you. So I was trying a lot of things, and some worked, some did not work. I didn't knew that sequence of things that must happen. So one of our distinguished engineers and my mentor told me that software is just a tool to achieve a result, and I must not focus on the tool, but I must focus on what makes the tool successful. That kept me thinking, right? Then he suggested that I read the case studies of all our successful implementations, so I learned more about understand what makes the tool successful. So that's what I did. So I went ahead and read all the implementation guides, all the implementation projects that the business did and the company did for that particular software product, and then I noticed some common success factors, and what that is the framework. The technology can be anything, but the framework was the same for all successful projects. And after trying the different frameworks that I found, different tweaking, I came to a conclusion. I have a framework that guarantees results, and that is this. First step is to plan. We are going to have a very clear set of automation goals and a prioritized plan to execute those goals, right, or execute the automation. That's the first step. Second step is to document. We want to document all the we want to document all the processes. And if you want to do it from scratch, it's going to be very difficult. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and use the pre-built templates that we are going to offer and just fill up the blanks, and you have your process documentation ready. And we also need to understand the challenges for each of those processes so we can prioritize them better. So that's the second stage or second step in my framework, to document. The third step is automate. It could be Qntrl, it can be any other product, but I strongly recommend Qntrl, but I can do it with any other no-code platform. It's not a problem. So Qntrl setup, building the orchestrations in Qntrl, testing and training becomes the third block where we fully implement the plan. Finally, the most important part is measuring. Measuring happens with the KPIs that align with the goals that we initially have. So we have to have a KPI, key performance indicators, to measure the goals that we initially planned. And finally, if there are any tweaks that has to happen, we have to optimize those processes or the orchestration or the automation so that you get the results that we promise, or you get the results that we initially agreed. So this is my 4-step framework to your automation success, and this I can guarantee, because that's the reason I guarantee my results, because I know I've been there, I did that, and this works like a charm. So next thing is, what is Qntrl? So Qntrl is basically a workflow orchestration product, and the best part here is it's a completely visual no-code platform. So it's totally cool. So I'm going to do a demo video again, not right now because we are going to run short of time. So I'm going to do a demo video separately and associate with this video a little later. So it's a completely visual, and it's a no-code platform. So if you can go ahead and write your document process, if you can go ahead and write about your process in my document, update that, if you can fill the template, honestly, if you can fill the template, you can automate. That's all I can say. That's how easy it is. So if you can go ahead and fill the template, we'll go ahead and automate. So that's how you can automate your business process in just like a couple of days over the weekend, even without hiring any consultant. It's so easy. Just fill up the template and we can create the same visualization, and it will work. So that is that's number 2. And finally, what I want to talk about is my number 1 hack to fast track technology adoption. The biggest challenge is with technology is adoption. So the business owner likes the technology, wants to go ahead and do a lot with it, and he's all excited because he's seen the demos given by the sales teams and stuff like that. But the same kind of energy, same kind of passion is not seen with the team members. They don't. Once they look at the first demo, they probably find few faults or find few things that they don't like. Immediately they create a wall, and they stop actually adopting it, right? Or they stop adopting the technology. And this happened like countless number of times during my career. So we do a lot of integrations, we do a lot of automations for different project different products in a portfolio and give it back to the product teams, and they don't use it. And that makes me wonder why that people are not using it. And the reason is it's a change for them, right? It's a change. So our human tendency is to resist change. So we always think change is not for the better. Like we always want to resist change and be in our comfort zone. So whenever you give them a new technology, and imagine this, even if you are driving your car for 14 years or 15 years, and I take it away and I give you a new car, it's going to be a change. You're going to struggle at least initially to figure out how to drive it, right? Because the technology is new, the car feels new, drives faster, whatever it is. So you're going to have the same challenge with your team members when you give them a new technology, right? So how do you solve this? I don't have many slides on this topic because it's pretty simple. The only way to solve this, or the way I solved this over the years, is what I call task-based training. So every team member, every person has a specific role in the team to play. Basically, they have a specific set of tasks they have to do repeatedly, or they have to do. And that's all so for example, that's all they use the system for, not more, right? So for example, if again, let's take the car analogy. If you are driving a car, so you as a driver, you as your car owner, you go ahead, sit in the car, turn on the ignition, probably turn on some music, and you just drive, play with trip meters a couple of times, whatever it is. But I bet you don't even look at 80% of your car, you don't even look at where the engine oil is. So you don't really do any of those things. You don't even look at the tire pressure or the alignment. You don't look at anything. You just do certain things that you are supposed to do with your car. The same thing holds true with task-based training. So we are going to give a very specific training, which is like 4, 5, 6 steps max, or less than 10 steps, that each of your team members and clients have to do to achieve a result or to improve their experience. So that's all you need to do. So the task-based training is the key to fast track the technology adoption. Otherwise, if you overwhelm them with a lot of training, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days training, it's just they get overwhelmed and they never adopt it, or they never go ahead and use the technology. So that's number 3. The secret to the adoption is to create this task-based training, and that's what we do. We deliver along with the projects. So now, let me talk about what we covered so far, right? So we spoke about how to scale your accounting practice with automation, but only pay for what you use. That's exactly what my new offering is, managed automation services, where we deliver the platform for free, you get the automation for free, implementation costs are none. Only thing that you do is pay a monthly usage fee on those services, and we manage the entire platform for you. So that's managed automation services, how you do that. The second thing is how to automate your services over the weekend or this weekend without hiring expensive consultant. Again, here we discussed about the 4-step framework, which is you can follow with the pre-built templates that we are going to give you, and you just fill those them. And if you can fill the template, you can automate with Qntrl. So Qntrl is a no-code visual orchestration platform using which we are going to automate all your core and auxiliary services. So that's number 2. And finally, what we also covered is we spoke about the number 1 hack for fast track adoption, and as you know, it has to do with task-based training. We're going to overwhelm them with 2 days or 3 days training. Rather, we're going to focus on only the tasks that they meaning every person on your team is responsible to execute, right? So that's what we are going to do. So unfortunately, it is not possible to show everything. I'm sure you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with the information that we have. So as I said, in just 30-40 minutes, it's too hard for me to go ahead and combine or condense all the information that I want to share. So here's what I want to do. I want to ask if only if you agree, is it okay if I spend another 10 more minutes going over a very special offer I created to help you start with automation immediately? Do you think you can spend another 10 minutes to go over that? So if yes, so who is this offer for? It is for CPAs, accounting firm owners, insurance franchise owners, that comes in the future, law firms, IT directors, that's who this offer is for. So let me ask you a question. So if you simply follow the steps that I give you, and you do you do exactly what the software asks you to do, and you can save thousands of dollars, would you give it a try? So that's all I wanted to know. If that is the case, would you give it a try? Right. So here's the reason why most people can't get started, because you feel that you don't have time right now to focus on new things. Right. The good news is you only need 2 hours a week to get started. Plus, there is so much value with automation that the question becomes, can you afford not to use it? So the world uses it, every business uses it, and if you are not using it, can you afford to stay like that and not use it, right? So here's what you get with the offer that I put together for you guys. A Qntrl, 15-day free trial, 5 users and 3 orchestrations are included. So what Qntrl does is it has a ton of features. Here are the main ones. It gives you the centralization and visibility into every process. Then process compliance, then workflow, you can collaborate on the workflow itself. Then we have process automation, then we have reports and dashboards. You can map your processes with each other. Process extensibility, you can extend existing processes. Then the final thing is designed for businesses of any size. So if you are a 5-10 member team today and you are going to become a 30 or 40 member team in next 6 months, Qntrl can still can be used. It doesn't matter what your team size is, you should be able to use Qntrl. It's not a problem. So next thing is what you can do with this. You get instant access. Instantly you can access the award-winning orchestration software, right? So, and you can also automate any 3 of your core processes. And finally, see if the product is right for you within 2 weeks by measuring the results. And immediately what happens is you should be able to free up 6 or more hours in a week. That's the key. You can free up to 6 or more hours in a week, which you can spend on activities that will grow your business. So that's the first thing that I want to include in the offer. So I didn't put a value in there because it's not my product. It's from Zoho. So that's the reason that is the free trial. I have nothing to do. You just sign up and you get it, right? So that's the reason I did not put any value against it. So the next thing that we are going to give you is the Automation Readiness Kit. It has a $500 value. So basically you get a cost estimate, a savings estimator, you get an automation goals template, process documentation template, automation priority template, right? So all these are included in that. So what you'll be able to do with that is you get an estimated cost savings each month by automating your process. So you basically understand how much you will save each month. So the next thing is document all your business processes in less than a day with our templates. So our templates are already designed to work with our automation. So all you do is go ahead and fill those templates. The third thing is you set clear goals for each process that you want to automate, and fill out the automation that will have the most impact on the business and prioritize it. Find out the automation that has the most impact and in the business and prioritize it. So that's what we are going to do, and that itself has a $500 value. If you use any of these templates, that's the kind of time you will save, and that's the value of it. The next thing is we are going to do a complete Qntrl setup, user onboarding, role setup, roles, policies, organization rules, business rules, etc. Zoho directory integration if you want to do it with Active Directory sync, and then REST API, all this entire Qntrl setup. We are going to do it for you, so that's another $500 value. So what happens with that is you'll be fully set up Qntrl as per your organization policies, avoid hiring an IT professional to manage the environment, and you'll also be able to save countless hours in working with support to get the environment up and running. So we will do all that work. You just don't need to worry about it. So next up is we are going to give you control orchestration, 3 processes, $3,000 in value. We're going to automate 3 processes using a control. So you'll be able to stop spending long hours doing busy work, take control of your day and your week, and avoid all unnecessary activities. Business becomes exciting again, obviously, because you're not doing boring stuff. It becomes exciting again, and you look forward to the future, right? So once you're so pumped up about your business, you're going to look forward for the future. So spending time, you can also spend, you'll end up spending time with very high value clients that love to do business with you, right? So that's what once you have that time back, you can do all this. You can turn your accounting practice into a cash rich business because of the amount of impact you create. So the next thing is we are going to give you monthly monitoring and support, weekly orchestration reports, how many things passed, how many things failed, and stuff like that. Then you have a priority email and live chat support, and that's another thing that's going to be included. The first bonus is, as I said, that the training for the team, the task-based training for the team. It's basically a huge opportunity for the team to test it and give feedback, and for us to take the feedback and make the required corrections, so that it is available. So next thing that we are included in this offer is access to an exclusive members only LinkedIn group, right? So where you can interact with a lot of other CPAs, other users of the software or the solution. So what you'll be able to do is access all free and premium content that we have today and free updates. It will include masterclasses, quizzes, best practices, blueprints, and much more. So that's exactly what the membership site is about. So what you are going to get is Qntrl 15-day free trial for 5 users, Qntrl setup $500 value, Qntrl orchestration of 3 processes, that is $3,000 value, monthly monitoring and support of $1,200 value, access to an exclusive members only site or group is $97, and live training for a team of 5 is $1,500. So the total value that you're going to get with this offer is $6,297. I know, I mean, this is being conservative. If you try to do it outside on your own, you're probably going to end up spending over probably $15,000, right? So the next thing that you need to understand is I'm not going to charge you $6,297, right? But even if I did, let's say, charge you $6,297, and if it saves you $100,000 in this year, would you not give it a try? Absolutely, yes, but let's not get into that battle at this time. So if, as I say, if I go ahead and charge you, I'm not going to charge you the $6,297, but as you know, even if I do, it's still worth it because you're going to save a ton of money. So what is this? So finally, I'm going to show you this special offer that we have for today. It is a one-time payment of $399 as a setup fee, a one-time setup fee, and a monthly you just pay the automation price, right? So if your process has 1 to 10 steps, you pay 15 cents per job that is completed. So process with 11 to 20 steps is 25 cents per completed job, and finally process with 20 or more steps, it's 50 cents per completed job. So nothing to pay today. All you need to do is sign up for a 14-day free trial of Qntrl. Click the link, sign up for the 14-day free trial, and then we can sit and plan. We can go ahead and plan for it. So that is exactly what I have in mind today. So as I said, I showed you, let's just recollect. I showed you how to go ahead and find out the services, like automate all your services and just pay for what you use, right? So that's exactly what I want you to take this. I mean, it can't get better than this. So I strongly recommend you consider this. And what will happen is once you sign up, you're going to get a series of emails helping you understand how to navigate how to take the next steps. So go ahead, subscribe to this control trial, and then we'll schedule a call to go over the other details. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned that you don't need to spend a lot of money and time on consultants to actually grow your business. So if you I hope you enjoyed this session, and next week we're going to talk about a new topic, and I believe I published the calendar for the next week. I'm going to do it again, so we are clear on what we want to do. Okay, cool. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk in the next session.